Welcome to our history section. We are Salma Andrade and Hannah Lanis.
Today we have a special guest, Miranda Guerra, expert in the area of Middle East conflicts. She will share with us facts about the Iran and Saudi Arabia conflict.
We will start by analyzing a cartoon from an unknown artist published by the Washington Post. It shows a rivalry that has been present for a long time. Recently, the dispute has gotten more tense.
The cartoon consists of a box match between two characters, representing Saudi Arabia on one side and Iraq on the other one. However, they are not the ones directly fighting. They are facing each other with two puppets each, one for Yemen and another for Syria.
Meanwhile, the public is discussing the duration of the fight, where one of them responds that it will last only 14 or 15, and another says centuries. The meaning within this cartoon is to represent Saudi Arabia and Iran's conflict in order to achieve regional dominance, where neither one of them is directly involved. Instead, several proxy wars take place to represent the interests of the larger powers. In this case, Yemen and Syria are the countries used by Saudi Arabia and Iran to carry out armed conflicts without the need to be directly affected.
The public as well shows that if it's a conflict that has been going on for over centuries.
We know Saudi Arabia is located in Asia, being the largest country of the Middle East. It is bordered by Jordan and Iraq to the north, Kuwait to the northeast, Qatar, Bahrain, and the United Arab Emirates to the east, Oman to the southeast, and Yemen to the south.
While Iran is located in Eurasia, it is bordered to the northwest by Armenia and the Republic of Azerbaijan, northeast by Turkmenistan, east of Afghanistan and Pakistan, west by Turkey and Iraq, and south by the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. These neighbor countries have had issues related with territory dominance for centuries, and religious beliefs only worsen their conflict.
Each one of them follow one of the two main sects in Islam. Iran is largely Shia Muslim, while Saudi Arabia sees itself as a leading Sunni Muslim power. Meanwhile, the surrounding countries seek for support from either Saudi Arabia or Iran, promoting the struggle for regional dominance.
To start, Miranda will talk us about the conflict. How are you, Miranda?
Great and thankful to be invited.
Awesome, let's get started. What other countries and actors are involved in this conflict?
Apart from the obvious, which are Saudi Arabia and Iran, each side has support from nearby countries.
Who is in Saudi Arabia's side?
Their supporters have to do with the Sunni actors on the Gulf, like the United Arab Emirates, Kuwait, Bahrain, Egypt, and Jordan.
And from Iranian side?
Principally Syria's government and the Shia Muslims as Lebanon, Hezbollah, and Iraq.
Are they any other actors?
The other nearby countries are used as a proxy war region and as a way of attacking each other. As seen in the cartoon, these countries include Yemen and Syria. USA has also participated, though it's only for their convenience and to allegedly destroy the Islamic State.
Has the UN or any peacekeeper organization taken any action?
Not really. The UN has repeatedly covered up the casualties and disasters caused by the attacks, while Saudi Arabia has asked for their intervention to end the war once and for all.
And how does this conflict relate to previous ones?
Many think it's a small-scale Cold War, because there are some characteristics and MOs that are similar, as the proxy wars that don't occur in any of the two territories as in Lebanon and Syria. It is also related to the Arab-Israeli conflict and the fight for Palestine that arise from religious differences but go beyond that.
It is assumed that a conflict as big as this one, with so much history and background, has an impact not only in the main involved actors. Both Saudi Arabia and Iran are powerful countries with different alliances and influence each. What will be the future implications behind this conflict?
Besides the direct impact of the proxy wars on the neighbor countries, on their economy, population, and the damage on their infrastructure, the conflict could take place in the Gulf waters eventually. This would imply a greater conflict to the United States and the Western powers. The freedom of navigation in the Gulf is vital for international trade and transportation of oil. If Saudi Arabia and Iran directly affect the navigation of these countries, this could draw in U.S. naval and air forces.
And do you know what are the postures or actions of these two countries under conflict?
Actually, the strategic rivalry between these two countries is heating up because Iran is in many ways winning the regional struggle. In Syria, Iranian and Russian support for President Bashar al-Assad has largely routed rebel groups hacked by Saudi Arabia. And not only that, Saudi Arabia is trying desperately to contain the rising Iranian influence and the militaristic adventurism of the kingdom's young and impulsive crown, Prince Mohammed bin Salman. That is the country's de facto ruler, is aggravating regional tensions. He is making a war against rebels in Saudi Arabia's southern neighbor, Yemen, but after nearly 3 years, this is proving a costly bet or a risk of money. In conclusion, Iran and Saudi Arabia are not directly fighting, but they are engaged in a variety of proxy wars around the region, so this is why it's considered something close to a Cold War.
Well, it looked like we are running out of time. Thanks to our guest, and don't forget to listen to us next week. Bye!
Sustainable Development Goal 16. Promote peaceful and inclusive cities for sustainable development, provide access to justice for all, and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. Strengthen relevant national institutions, including through international cooperation, for building capacity at all levels, in particular in developing countries to prevent violence and combat terrorism and crime. It is related to the image shown since there are many wars because of different religions and beliefs, but cooperating with institutions might help these countries reach an agreement in order to stop the terrorism and violence among them.